This is very different to everything else that we've heard. Well, I'm not even sure what I should take of this.
I've been here waiting for you, Alice.
Oh, okay. I knew this song was gonna go. This is not what I was expecting. Kia ora and welcome. My name's Zoe Stevie and I'm your vocal coach for today. In today's video, we're looking at Veronica Fusaro. I hope I said that right. With Alice, she's representing Switzerland in Eurovision. Let's see what she's up to with her vocal technique, how is she creating these sounds, and how can you create them. Honestly, never heard this song before, so I'm like, I've got no idea what I'm in for. But I'm sure it's amazing. It's Eurovision. Let's look at it. Before I get to Veronica, could you do me a massive favor and subscribe to this channel? I'm a full-time vocal coach. It really does help me to help more people like yourself here on YouTube with their vocal technique. I just love it. Mwah! Thank you in advance.
Alice, your pretty green eyes are magic. My precious prize, I've studied your face, the way you behave. Can I spill my secrets to you, Alice?
This is very different to everything else that we've heard. Okay, let's just listen to that again. Okay. Oh, well, I'm not even sure what I should take of this.
Alice, your pretty green eyes are magic. My precious prize, I've studied your face, the way you behave. Can I spill my secrets to you, Alice?
Alice, that's very low for the female chest voice register. This is definitely chest voice, but what's happening is to allow that breath to come through, the vocal folds to just open a little bit. Alice, we need to allow that breath to come through, because honestly, otherwise you're not going to get the vocal folds short enough to produce those low pitches.
I spill my secrets to you, Alice. Let me inside, I promise. I'll be polite, no, I want to make you mess. Why you looking so stressed? Just let me talk to you. I've been watching.
So she's down on the A3. Was it the A3? Yeah, A3, which is the A below middle. Just let me watching you. And when we're that low, we actually wanted to take the volume very, very, very low, because you can see she's very close. So like, that's why I'm watching you. And that allows us to actually get a little bit more of that slack vocal fold to come in there to create some of that kind of crackle and a little bit of the constriction, which is the false vocal folds coming over top of the true vocal folds there.
I'll be polite, no, I want to make you mess. Why you looking so stressed? Just let me talk to you. I've been watching you. I know you really, really love me, don't lie. Know you gotta give it some time.
Okay. I knew this song was gonna go. You know what? I'm not sure that I'm enjoying this mix of this performance. So after this, I'm going to go and listen to the official music video. But as you know, here on the channel, I only analyze live vocals, because it's the only way that we're really going to tell what a singer is genuinely up to. So what we've got, let's just go back on this, because I'm enjoying.
Just let me talk to you. I've been watching you.
So you go, I've been watching you. That's going into a thinner vocal. I've been watching you. Now, these guys, as I've said before, all of the performers on the Eurovision circuit have got insane schedules that they are being held to at the moment. So we're hearing a kind of a slightly tired voice in this moment, which is absolutely fine. We won't like write home about it. Yeah, but that could be where a little bit that crackle's coming in. Oh, we're watching you. Could almost be a little bit of falsetto, actually. Let's listen to that again.
I've been watching you.
No. Okay, so this is woo. Firstly, it doesn't sound like it's falsetto in terms of like it's moving too fast. It was just a little bit too much core in the tone for us to kind of take this falsetto. Falsetto would mean that we've got sort of like a little bit more of a hooty feeling because the vocal folds would be stiff in that moment. We've got the you, and we're hearing the vibrato come in. That's interesting. Very interesting place to go through, to go to for the chorus. That is the falsetto. Cry. What do I do? Let's just listen to it again because you can really hear that kind of. Now again, I'm no shade on anyone. When I talk about a hooty kind of feeling, we're not getting a lot of vocal fold contact because the vocal folds are stiff and falsetto. And so we've got such a small amount of vocal fold actually at the front that's touching. That's why it sounds like there's not a lot of tone in the sound. Can you hear that? Hey, no, you really don't love me, okay? We're hearing very different sounds on this. Hey, actually, I say only up on the A flat 4 and the B flat 4. Why is that important? Because that's still well within the female chest voice register. So personally, a lot of students come into the studio and because that's what they can do, and they really want to go, why? All I really want to do, but, which is kind of what I would expect in a chorus. This is very interesting that Veronica has made this decision to go, why? So I'm loving this because I'm already gonna, I've got some ideas about what's gonna happen for the rest of the song. You can hear though that the vocal folds come back together as she's going lower in the range again. It's really around the same sort of notes, but she's doing a really great job of making it sound like the pitch is changing a little bit. Because, hey, I don't really do. Vocal folds come back into a chest voice quality, but it's still quite quiet. She's not really moving away from the microphone any further. It's really like she's speaking on pitch at that moment. And when we go into more of that chest voice, it's really bringing the vocal folds into a thicker position and not quite tilting as much. You go, all I really want to do, but all I really want to do, but that's vocal fold thickness and also taking a little bit of that tilt out of the thyroid there. I just have to, don't cry. And we're hearing that at the end. That's kind of that cry that we're looking for with the thyroid tilt, which is so important because it's the main difference between singing and speaking, but it also helps us to get higher in the range, helps us to bring our vocal folds closer together. And honestly, like you just have to have thyroid tilt if you're wanting to sound less like speaky on pitch, although I did say that's what you needed to do. That's like the first step, but the next step would then be to bring in the thyroid tilt. And that's why I have a lesson for you down in the description below, Find Your Chest Voice Challenge. It's a 3-day, 3 separate lessons on how to improve your chest voice. You can check it out in the description below.
Alice, don't you be scared to be honest. I live in your head, oh, I'm lonely too. This world's been so cruel, yeah. I've been here waiting for you, Alice. Knocking on the door, don't panic. Lay low on the floor, you're safe in my arms. No, I'd never.
This is not what I was expecting, from the other songs that we've heard. But this is the beauty of Eurovision, right? Like it's bringing in all these different styles of performance.
This world's been so cruel, yeah. I've been here waiting for you.
Yeah, that's what you got. Thyroid. I've been here waiting for you. Still very much spoken on pitch, thicker vocal folds. But when you add in that cry, I'll be here waiting for you. That's the way that you can take the chest voice further up in the range.
So cool, yeah. I've been here waiting for you.
Yeah. But so cruel. When you're down this low in the second verse here, I mean, it's the same place as the first verse, right? I'm sorry, my eyelash on my eye. When you're down that low, you can actually do quite a lot with this feeling of like, a little bit of pressure. You could put quite a lot of pressure on your vocal folds down in that lower part of the range. I hear the home. Whatever the fuck I'm singing there. And that's when you're basically like, so the vocal folds are what's creating the pitch, and the false vocal folds are sort of part of the 3-part closing mechanism to protect our lungs from whatever we're like swallowing or eating. Well, swallowing and eating is what we do, right? And so when the false vocal folds are pushed onto the true vocal folds, that's how we can create constriction. And that creates that kind of like, oh, I'm having such a bad day kind of feeling. And that's what she's doing in this first section here.
Scared to be honest, I live in your head.
That's slack. I live in your head. Do that slack vocal folds, slowest move into the vocal folds.
I'm lonely too. This world's been so cruel. Yeah.
There. The world's been so cruel. That's the false vocal folds.
Been here waiting for you. Alice. Knocking on the door. Don't panic. Lay low on the floor. You're safe in my arms. No, I'd never harm. I want you because I'm in love with you.
Okay, let's just listen to that. It was interesting because she took the larynx a little bit lower.
I'd never harm. I want you because.
Okay, I didn't quite understand what she said. But. She said the same sort of thing, quite short phrases there. Really closing the vocal folds after each of those phrases. But it's really about that kind of feeling of it's so hard. And that's the false vocal folds.
I'm in love with you. I know you really love me, don't lie. Know you're gonna give it some time. So honey, don't cry. Honey, don't cry. 'Cause I know you really love me inside.
No, honestly, if Veronica was one of my singers, I would have said I would like that. You've either got to bring the instruments down in that first chorus for that, so that you can build. But this is what we need. We need that. I really want to now. We need that kind of change because there's not a lot of there's not a lot of dynamic change going on within the verse, and the dynamic juxtaposition of the chorus and the verse is kind of what creates that like yay moment for the audience. And we need to fire off the mirror neurons, especially at a something like Eurovision, where it's all about getting people to like cheer and join along. So we do that by doing that. Really wanna we can activate that within the audience themselves by singing those notes that seem like we are cheering. It is a little bit of psychology as well.
Know you really love me inside. Only gonna give it some time. So honey, don't cry. Honey, don't Alice, the lights in my life has vanished. Please.
Let's just go back on that because yeah, there's something to be said. I think the song, I don't know, maybe sometimes it's really hard, right?
Really love me inside. Only gonna give it some time. So honey, don't cry. Honey, don't cry.
This is sort of like one of those songs where you're like, oh, I'm just going to like really like carve my own path, but I'm just kind of sing a little bit of an anthem, but then I'm not going to do kind of what everyone really wants to hear, which is like high notes, get votes. Yeah. So I want to hear more fireworks in this vocal range. I want to hear more of the highs. I want to, you know, when we're singing in a rock band as a female singer, we do really want to show off some of those tops as well. This song actually so far, because it's, I mean, look, I say only because actually the female voice, like the female chest voice register, really likes to go up to around that B flat 4, C4 at a push for some people. And so this, where it's sitting currently, is actually a really great place for you to work on your chest voice. Again, it's that A flat to B flat. It's not particularly high for the female vocal register. Let's just, I suppose that's just my kind of preference. I sing a lot of rock songs, but I really like to go like absolutely crazy in these sorts of moments, because it's just what I really, really love, like a little bit of like Aerosmith kind of number, like that kind of craziness. Again, very subjective personal preference, personal preference. My husband always says to me, like, Zoe, you look like you got Tourette's on stage. I honestly don't care.
Lights in my life has vanished. Please open your eyes. Why are you turning cold from feather to stone? Baby, don't leave me alone.
Woo!
Merci vielmals, dankeschön.
Okay. It's interesting, this end section. You can sort of hear like a little bit of like a wobble in the voice, and like that could be due to so many different things. That could be due to like a little bit of nerves. That could be, you know, that she's got a little bit of a cold at the moment. Like maybe that's why she didn't go for those higher belts. Maybe that's why she didn't like go do some vocal fireworks for us.
If it's vanished, please open your eyes.
Yeah, please open your eyes. There was like a little bit of a flip in there.
Vanished. Please open your eyes.
That little open your eyes, that little movement there, that often happens when singers are not 100% sure where they're going to be placing their voices. That can often come through nerves. But again, I don't know Veronica from like, yeah. I don't know. I've never met her, right? I don't know her. I'm not going to diagnose her with anything. Like, I don't know. I'm not her vocal coach. I don't know what the fuck's going on really, like in her own voice. This is just what I'm saying. That happens to a singer in my studios is usually where my thinking kind of goes. And that's when usually there isn't a decision. Well, that's when we're in falsetto and trying to go too low with the falsetto. Rise. And the vocal folds actually want to come together, and the larynx wants to go into more of a vertical position to come down lower. That can sometimes be hindered by the fact that she's just spent quite a lot of time higher up in the range, and then everything kind of gets like a little bit stuck and it doesn't want to come back down. Could be that.
Turning cold from feather to stone. Baby, don't leave me alone.
And there you go. And that could be a reason why, baby, don't leave me alone, rather than going alone. But again, it could also be just a stylistic thing that she's decided to do. Interesting, because the song it's like a real jam. It's a very cool, like slow, rocky number. As I said, I really was expecting the voice to do slightly more in the upper register. I have not said this yet. It's a very, very good song. I am not sure how that's going to do on the night. I don't know if it's got enough wow. There are some incredible songs, and I think a lot of the thing of Eurovision is you've got really like you've got three ways you can run it. You can either do like a crazy fun song like we've seen in the past, like with was the sauna song, like for example last year. You can either go down like the extremely good vocals and like really show us off some amazing vocals, like what for example Conchita did a couple of years ago, or you can do something like really pulls on our heartstrings, like when Portugal won a couple of years ago and sang that like really like personal, very 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 like seemingly easy song, but very poetic, and it just like captured our minds. And I feel like this just doesn't quite go in enough of the direction. I feel like her vocals could have been more enhanced in terms of like showing us more of what she could do, especially seeing as like this year there are some insane vocalists there, and I just feel like there needs to be a little bit more punch on the vocals there in order to get the vote, actually. Because I mean, look, we're talking about a lot of people voting who really don't know a lot about singing and are not going to be looking at someone's background. They're wanting to see wow moments on stage and to like be whipped up in the moment as well. But I'd be really interested to see what you think. I haven't said that before, but cool song. Yeah, I'm just not sure. I don't even know. I should have really looked up if they qualified or not. I haven't had a look at that just yet. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Fantastic singer though. Interesting to see the choices going on. I really like the song in terms of like the structure. Yeah, a little bit more vocal fireworks, I think is what I was. If she was singing in my studio, I would have asked for a slightly more, maybe a repeat of that chorus at the end and like some like going bit crazy, slightly more complicated guitar riff. I think I would have gone for as well. But again, I love that, you know, she's playing within her own abilities. I actually don't know how good she is at the guitar, but I really love that it like plays to her strengths, and, you know, fantastic. The level this year is just astronomically high. So if you've enjoyed this video, then hit that subscribe button. I'd love to see you around here more often. We can have a look at the finals of Eurovision and check out some more Eurovision up here. And just remember, anyone can learn to sing. I'm a singing teacher full time. If you would like to know anything about what we talked about in this video, about how to sound more sung, take your chest voice higher, working on that falsetto, working on flipping, working on taking out some of these voice cracks, that is something that we need to work on a one-to-one basis. And that is why I've opened up applications for my online singing school, the Vocal Academy. You can apply using the link in the description below. I'll see you right next time. Happy singing. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You're amazing. Ka kite anō.